And even for a minute, let's just run some white light all the way down through our legs. If you're sitting cross-legged, all the way down through your spine. But we want to get our whole body involved in receiving white light. So in this moment, we are becoming giant receptors. Allowing ourselves to take in the highest energy that's available to a human being. So you set that intention to take in the highest energy available to a human being, and you visualize white light coming completely through your body. And as you come into receiving mode, feel your entire body relax. Let your mind soften. So you're not holding on to any ideas or feelings or even perceptions, just allowing yourself to be cleared and every cell of your body to be cleaned of any kind of toxic energy or toxic residue. Allow yourself to become clear. And feel all the dirt leaving. Everything that doesn't serve, allow it to just go. Feel it leave through your toes, feel it leave through the base of your spine, and feel it leave through your hands, your fingertips. And then consciously feel into each energy center and allow it to relax. Just quickly, like a quick check. As you completely become available to this white light, to become the transformation that leads to transcendence. So we're actively participating in allowing this white light to completely penetrate everything that we are. And there's no part of us, especially feel into your back, the back of your body. There's no part of us that is not taking in this white light. Every part is being informed and released from old toxic energy. It's as though we are standing under a shower of white light, allowing ourselves to be cleansed. Now take your attention to the tip of your tailbone. And see if you can feel it gently waving back and forth in your central channel. And align your breath with that wave. And now gently allow yourself to feel into the space between the breaths and the waves. We're feeling for that which is inside of ourselves that never changes. That essence that we are. And opening completely to that. Feel for that gentle wave at the tip of your tailbone, going back on the in-breath and forward on the out-breath. It's very subtle. And don't worry if you can't feel it, you will. When you're ready, take your attention just below your belly button into the energy center there. And feel into the stillness between your breaths. When you're ready, gently come up to the solar plexus, breathing directly into that space. In the front, it's at the bottom of the sternum. And feel into the back. Relaxing your diaphragm, allowing it to move freely with the breath. When you're ready, gently allow your attention to move up to the heart center, feeling immediately for the relaxation at the back of your heart. And as your spiritual mechanism comes forward, allow your body to just disappear. It doesn't go anywhere. Gently allow your attention to move to the throat center. Allow your attention to rise up to the third eye in the center of your head. And you may find yourself gently needing to align your body. When you're ready, the energy will naturally rise up and out the top of your head. Feel the spaciousness of the connection around your body in 360 degrees as the energy rises up and around and gathers below you. And of course, it goes in both directions, but no need to complicate your experience. From this place of internal awareness, gently, slowly, with great respect, holding your attention there, allow yourself to gently open your eyes. No hurry, two places at once. Welcome home. Mhm. So happy to be with you. How may we serve today? Yes.
While you were gone, the world seemed to have shifted, and we had the I Ching to consult, um, and it came up with the darkening of the light, and the guidance was darkness reigns in the external world, and one should let go of the negative feelings that come up about that and return to one's inner work. And that was really helpful. Um,
Absolutely. We are becoming the keepers of the light. So, this is the way to think about it. We are the keepers of the light, and it's very, very important that every single day we become that light in ourselves, regardless of what is happening in the world. This is not denial, this is the total self acceptance, the total acceptance of what is real inside of us as the world races toward the world around us, races toward that which is unreal. And we become witnesses in the highest sense of the world, of the word. And where we can be helpful, we be honest with ourselves about what's possible and do our best. And if we have nothing to offer, we don't offer it. We are keepers of the light in every sense. That's what we have to offer. We are holding fast to the light itself in this dimension. understanding that if we don't do it, nobody else will. We no longer expect anybody else to do our work for us or to support us in it. This is a very powerful understanding to take responsibility inside ourselves. And we have each other. Our song is small, but it's powerful. The work we are doing is becoming exponentially more important as time goes on. And it feels that we are fast approaching the end times. The scientists are telling us that we've passed several tipping points. And since each of us on this call is toward the end of our lives anyway, it's not the threat that it would have been when we were younger. But the we don't know if the election was stolen or gifted. And it's beyond our area of concern to put any energy there. Because we have no power for change, and the people who do don't care. But the quality of our lives internally has always been our first priority, but now it's even more important. We wish denial was an option. And, that can be a choice. But living from love is a better one. Living from love can allow us to celebrate each moment. As it always has. And it can allow us to celebrate with the people we share our lives with. There is always bitter and sweet in life. And when we can savor both at the same time, we're being real. And it may or may not be the end of humanity. There's some brilliant, brilliant people coming up who may save the day. But it's a big shift in our reality to have this stark darkness appear at the helm. And so, there are two ways to look at it. Either the election was stolen or we misunderstood the quality of the interests of people in our country. Both are possible. And we're sure some of each. But our life's work is always making the best of a bad situation. This is how our bodies work in this environment. And in making our focus the white light, we first become a beacon for ourselves. Our heart is that beacon. And becoming autonomous in our understanding frees us from moving into victimhood. No matter what happens, we have the white light within ourselves. And we are available to share that white light with every person we meet. This has not changed. This is our job. This is why we came. It's why we're required to stay in this moment. And it's our mission. This has not changed. Our dedication to it will need to be very strong. Our support for each other is really, really important. We're so grateful to have this easy way of communication while we are in place in our individual settings. This is a great gift to hold us together inside ourselves and in communication as we dedicate ourselves to love itself. We are not alone. And the powers that support us in the environment are more available than ever before. The energetic supports. Pluto return and the death and rebirth of a country is upon us. But our responsibility remains exactly the same as it did a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It's not different. And we can't predict how the circumstances will play out, except that it's very important that every single day we dedicate ourselves to the love that is inside. We are seeing the lines of potential, which is why we are not encouraging denial of the seriousness of the change that has taken place. And are encouraging the recommitment to the love within ourselves every single day. How may we serve further?
Thank you.
Yeah, the I Ching spoke. Yes.
Just wanted to say, I also consulted the Ching and I got the abysmal. So it's
Yeah.
also subtitled Danger. Yeah, so but it's the same message. Pretty much everything you just said is makes sense to that.
It's interesting because, in the astrology, the potential for violence is clear. But those who would serve the light are not drawn to violence.
I almost feel like the light side ceded to the dark side to prevent the violence that could have occurred in a way, or at least in part.
Well, there are very powerful forces at work that are complicated to disentangle. But the great American experiment for now has been defeated. And the people in power are, for the most part, not trustworthy. In the ways that we would hope them to support the common person. So we must refocus our attention on the light within so that we don't become dark. That's really our challenge, to live in the bittersweet. The bittersweet of what people have felt throughout time when the leadership is not favorable. The relative peace that we grew up in was an incredible gift. an oasis in the experience of humanity, really. And our lives have been fantastic. We have had the opportunity to experience the love within ourselves in any time in history. This is an amazing gift. And we carry the light and we gift it to those behind us as much as we can. In whatever way we have opportunity. It's very, very precious, the gift we've been given of this light. So we can live from our gratitude of that and reinforce it every day as we embrace it. It's not a small thing. It's unbelievable. And none of us did anything to deserve it, but we have it. So we can appreciate it. And share it every opportunity we get, but not in a stupid way that demeans us or demeans the quality of that which we hold and serve. And following that light will give us all the information we need. We don't have to figure it out with our minds. We just immerse ourselves in that light and follow where it guides us. Our minds and emotions will come along. We have come into the curse of living in interesting times. But what a gift we have to experience it from.
Good morning.
Good morning. How may we
So
serve?
happy. I'm so happy that you're back with us. It's and I particularly appreciate that visualization of the white light as a shower. That's really beautiful. But more importantly, I appreciate you getting me back in touch with what my mission is and concentrating on the love and white light within me because it's a very, very dark time. And I've been spending a lot of time in the Inasa temple, and it just doesn't seem to lighten up for me. I am just filled with fear with the consequence of programs that they're going to slash. And the condition of the world. It's very frightening for me, and I don't appreciate being in a frightened state. So yes, it's interesting times, but I never wanted it to be that interesting.
Yes.
So I don't want to be a victim, but it's really hard to be cheerful.
Well, feel into the white light which is within you, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what the circumstance. And we have everything we need today. And it's very likely we'll have everything we need tomorrow. And thinking beyond that, who knows, we could get hit by a truck when we walk out to buy groceries. There is so much we have no control over. And living in anticipation of further darkness diminishes the light we carry. So be in this moment. It's a very good discipline to hold ourselves in the present moment in gratitude for what we have. There will be plenty of time to lament what we don't have if that circumstance arises. And for most of us, there's no way to prepare for not having. We're beyond that age where we can recreate a life of bounty. That's not up to us. So stay in the present moment, appreciating everything that we have now. And whatever comes, one thing we have learned in watching others approach death is that the human being is endlessly accommodating to contraction of circumstance. And it generally happens very subtly, and suddenly the person is in a completely contracted circumstance and still happy because that happiness doesn't come from circumstance. It comes from inside. So if we continue to focus on the gratitude for what we have today, we are aligning ourselves with that white light. And we just hold to it. We hold to it and we share it as much as possible. And whether other people are interested or not is not up to us. And how the world behaves is not up to us. How we behave is up to us. If we choose to become a victim in advance by focusing on the potential darkness, then we have robbed ourselves of the opportunity of living in the light. Hopefully, that's a sacrifice none of us are willing to make. We choose the light without denying the dark. We choose the light.
Thank you. Thank you. That helps so much.
You're completely welcome. You are verbalizing something we're all feeling. This is no small thing. And I would venture to say every single one of us has gone to the dark as we accommodate this change. So don't in any way feel less than for articulating the fear we're all facing in a moment-to-moment basis. It's real. And denying it doesn't make it less real, it actually gives it power. So the articulation of the fear, the meeting the fear with love and staying in the present moment with gratitude is incredible practice. We're being offered the opportunity to do incredible practice. We would
Thank
not
you.
yes, we would not choose to be surrounded by darkness and the holders of the light. That would not be our first choice of experience. But given that choice, we consciously make it. And, you know, if they take everything away, they take everything away. And we still have the light.
Mm.
So many people have come into and out of this world without experiencing the light. We are so lucky to be gifted with the experience of light and to be carriers and keepers of that light, to share with those that we meet who might be interested.
Well, as a little bit of a protection for myself, I've stopped reading the New York Times every day because it's just so daunting and it's so upsetting. I just decided, oh, I don't need to upset myself every day. I just won't read it. So
Exactly.
I just go straight to the crossword puzzle and that's it.
Yeah, the comics and the crossword puzzle.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's all I can tolerate right now.
Yeah, and you know, gift yourself with opportunities to laugh.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank
we,
God for our sense of humor.
yes, damn
That
you,
saves us.
autocorrect is pretty good for that.
Who's that?
Damn you, autocorrect.com
Oh,
is
yeah.
a good site for
Okay,
laughs.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it jokes about people like us who have come to technology late. Hmm, what else? We're so happy to hear from you.
Can you say a few words about what's happening in the heavens? Is it going to lighten up at all in any minuscule way for us?
Well, it's going to change radically over the next few months. Um, at the moment, Saturn is direct. And when Saturn goes direct, it's been appearing to go retrograde in the sky. It's been appearing to go backwards, which makes Saturn the planet of restriction, limitation, karma that will be delivered, has been very, very powerful in Aquarius And wherever Aquarius is in your chart is experiencing extreme Saturn. Now, when Saturn goes direct, as it is now, it just appears to sit there in the sky. It goes stationary for 5 days. And so we're feeling this oppressive restriction, seriousness, karma that will be delivered, limitation, just contraction, and a kind of darkness because of Saturn sitting there just like all the time. And then the full moon on top of it, the full moon was in Taurus, where it is exalted. And depending on where that is in your chart, it either lightened things up or made them more intense. It added intensity for everybody. And for some people in a good way and some people in not such a good way. It's in the same house as Jupiter. And so that for some people, Jupiter and Moon in Taurus is extremely expansive and beautiful. So it just depends on where it happens in your chart, where that you feel that beauty. You'll feel it someplace in your life, but it may not be so apparent because of which house it's in your own chart. In March, Saturn will move out of Aquarius into Pisces, where it will be for most of the next 2.5 years. That will be a huge shift. Rahu has been in Pisces for the last year and will move into Aquarius in May. But between March and May, Saturn and Rahu will meet, and that will be very, very intense. And that's the planet of insatiable desire meeting the energy of restriction. And so that will be intense. And it will be in Pisces, which is the house of the last house of the zodiac. So it will make for a lot of internal intensity. So what we're saying is that between now and May, it's going to be a lot of rock and roll. And not so much fun. But after that, things will open up a bit. But we have these heavy hitters having Saturn at the end of the horoscope is pretty intense. Saturn's been in its own house in Aquarius very strongly, bringing the karma that will be met in that arena, depending on where Aquarius is in your chart.
Not good news for me since I'm Aquarius.
Well, Saturn is happy in Aquarius, so it will be interesting having Rahu there. It will change things quite a bit. It will put Ketu in your 7th house. Rahu's been in your 2nd house of wealth. So it's going to move into your first house, which may create a lot of desires you're not used to having. But we've had Rahu in our first house the last year. And it's made for some internal rock and roll. Rahu can also be the planet of fears and past fears that need to be met. And so that's been a lot of what our last year has been about, has been meeting past fears to be dealt with. And it's been very beneficial on an in terms of inner work. So we have no regrets about spending that Rahu time. That will be until May. It will go in from our first house into yours, depending on where Aquarius is in your chart. So those are the heaviest planets. And then in May, Jupiter will move forward into Gemini from Taurus. So wherever Gemini is in your chart, which is your fifth house, Constance, so Jupiter will be good for you in your fifth house of spiritual ritual practice. You'll have the planet of wisdom. So that will make your practice easier in May. Yes. Jupiter's a funny planet if it's not a benefic in your chart. Jupiter's a great enemy in Rebecca's chart. So when it gets a lot of power, she tends to gain weight because Jupiter expands everything it meets. So she's in her Jupiter return right now, which means that Jupiter's in the house that it was in when she was born. And it's currently retrograde, which makes it closer to the Earth and more powerful. So it's impossible to fight with. Yes.
Hi there. Really good discussion this morning. Really, just some clarity of what's going on right now is very helpful. And I just a few days ago, I went back into some memories of when I had 3 abortions back in the past. And it would just not have this little painting and this image. And it was like, I just pulled it forward in front of me and put 3 little crystals. And the past several days, I've been just immersed with this emotion that wouldn't let me go. It was just, and I did it. I'm having a new therapist challenge me a little bit to go into that, and I just realized myself I had to go into this with great compassion and forgiveness for myself. But wow, talk about cleaning out the past and very difficult, and yet today, just today, I feel so much cleaner inside, and so come to a place of great acceptance and understanding, because I knew that's the place I needed to take it, and so it was transforming, that's for sure, and very heavy. So kind of matches up with this time. Feels like.
Yes. You know, you said a few months ago that our charts are quite similar.
Yes.
And I've been having similar experience to that. Really, really remarkable that this incredible fear at the center of everything has
Yes.
become present, and like this very dense thing to go into.
Extremely.
And going into it, the time of going into it, it was so amazing because it was like diving into this incredible density and darkness. And then suddenly the whole thing was nothing but open space. It was very, very surprising.
Yeah.
Because you're in this complete contraction of like, it can't get any more intense, and just diving deeper and deeper and allowing the intensity of the darkness and the fear to like just be so gripping, but not stopping as you go in it.
Right.
And then suddenly just pure space.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
That's
There's
just
nothing
happened for
in the
me
center
today.
of it.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my God, it was just an illusion. The penetrating through the darkness to this space is like total freedom is on the other side.
Yeah.
So we're with you in this experience. We've been doing same. And the great gift of having the luxury of going deeply into our own darkness to allow it to show us the light at the center.
Gosh, it just wouldn't let up.
Yeah. and great for that, because you kept going.
Yeah, it just was there. And interestingly enough, I was invited to go away for the weekend with my two nieces and my sister, and I was sick. I got food poisoning about a week ago, actually a week ago today. And so I wasn't able to, and things just kept happening. But the gals called me yesterday, which was so sweet. And they're like, which doesn't happen that often, all of them, I don't think ever, checking in on me. And I just was, because they were checking in because of what I was feeling before. And I just said, oh my gosh, well, here is what's really going on. And I told them the whole thing, and they were just nothing but no one talking. It was just quite quite a sharing session of myself. And my niece said she was so proud of me, and it was lovely, that holding of support with them that's ever. I mean, they're lovely people. And my sister I've had a little problem with, but there was nothing but ears. And today my niece who didn't talk much, she had been holding back. She's been trying to get pregnant and it hasn't been going well. And she shared that she had a pregnancy in her fallopian tube. I forget the name of that.
Ectopic.
Yes. And I looked that up and I and I went, oh my gosh. So she says, that's why I haven't been in touch. And I text her back. I said, well, that is a very odd timing, me telling you all of this, and she's having the problems that she is. So anyway, it's good new practice for me. I mean, it just was shared it with my husband and uh and just had opportunity to really kind of allow that to move through. So thank you for explaining what's going on in the universe, as that just seems to be what was going on. Yeah. So
Well, what you're demonstrating is the opportunity that arises from this contraction of darkness for us to ride that through our own darkness into the light, and then your sharing of it with everybody around you, which brought them into the light also.
yeah.
So this is what we're learning, is how to share our own process, because all of us are having similar experiences when the astrology, we get it in slightly different places.
Right.
Like, hers is in the 5th house of children, where she's having this big contraction and release.
Yeah.
And so we're all having it in different areas.
Yeah.
And to be able to share the light with those around us who we love, and all come into that space of acceptance. This is so, so beautiful. This is the opportunity that the darkness provides.
Well, it was something. It
Yeah,
is something.
intense.
And I'm really, I say, pleased to know what's going on that you can't avoid. It's just like here.
Yeah, it's just here. There's
And
nothing.
trying to do the best with love and accepting myself. It's taken a few days, and it's really been a healing for me. It really is. So
Well, think of this huge pattern in yourself that has been resolved.
yeah,
I mean, that's amazing.
it's pretty big. Yeah,
Yeah,
emotionally
that's
big. Yeah,
huge. That's
yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Oh,
I just felt it was
so,
time to share that
so,
because it was so fresh. Yeah. Thank you for
yeah.
sharing your experience too.
Well, it's so similar.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's really, really the same.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Mm. Yeah, I think for both of us, we have set Aquarius as our 12th house of loss. So it has to do with fears and losses that we experienced in our lives that are still haunting us to be resolved. And so, yeah. Oh, so one of the things about, we're kind of in a new electronic arrangement, so I don't ever know what time it is. So let's meditate in the few minutes that we have left. But before that, I just want to tell you how grateful I am to have you guys to share this with. It's so beautiful for us to be together with you. It's just the greatest gift that could be happening, and we're so happy to share it. And we just want to deep dive into the energy for a few more minutes before we go. So much love to you all. It's such a gift to be with you. Mm. We'll see you Wednesday night or next week. So much love. Bye for now.
Mhm.